Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney, and today I've got some bizarre figures to open. How stupid. Anyways, we have some Nendoroids and some scale figures that I'm very excited to open. I am actually a huge JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan. It's probably my top 3 anime, so I'm very hyped I finally have some scale figures, because I know they have like a lot of like kind of like the posable ones, and I'm not a big fan of those. So I'm just happy to have the scale ones, especially because one of them is my favorite Joestar. Alright, let's go ahead and just get started on the Nendoroids. Starting us off, we have Jotaro in his Stone Ocean version, so when he's a daddy. I actually do really like this outfit, and like the more I was looking at the Nendoroid, the more I really like appreciated all the fine details to it. It's crazy, it's quite a look, but that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for you. I will say he is one of the most obnoxious Nendoroids that I've ever put together, and we'll talk about that once we get to him. But these are the pose you can put them in, kind of like a fighting pose with the actual stand going, just a little pointing. This is personally my favorite, and how I chose to set him up with the CDs coming out of his face. Again, another kind of stand fight, him just kind of standing there menacingly, and then just kind of the same thing. So I feel like in a sense he's kind of the more lackluster ones that I've had, feeling like they probably did that because he already actually has like a normal Nendoroid from his part, so that's probably why it's a little lacking. Right, but as you can see, he is not on a stand right now because I can't almost get him into a stand, because for whatever reason the quality control is just not there, and there's like extra plastic in there. I like tried carving some out, but it's just like not coming out, and I've had this Nendoroid for quite some time, so I don't feel like I can even really go back and be like, hey guys, can I have one that I can actually push onto the base? Because typically, the JoJo Nendoroids are some of my favorites because they're pretty easy, in my opinion, to put together, and they have like really fun articulated joints, and you can really put them in some cool and dynamic poses. I also think it's fun to see Nendoroids just buff out of their mind, because that's not typical. But I love this faceplate. I will say the details of this faceplate are amazing. I will say the B-roll I have on him is not amazing also, because of the shadow from his hat. No matter how I tried to angle the light, how I tried to set it up in a different way, I couldn't, unless I would like have to hold him almost like this. So there is not amazing B-roll. I will put in what I have, but it's not great. Just a fair warning on that. But other than that, I love all the details down to the little D-O that he has almost on the side of his hat. And CDs, again, this is the best faceplate that they have. I love the little chain that they have, and then it just saying JoJo on his sleeve. So overall, he himself looks pretty good. It's just the quality of this one is not there. So that's just like almost like a personal gripe. I don't know if this was just a quality control issue for just mine or others, but other than that, I do think he is a really cool piece. I did get him with the bonus, but I didn't even bother doing B-roll with it. I do have like a little clip of it, but it's like this little tiny gold piece. I forget what happened or what the significance of it. But yeah, I would be more happy with him if he wasn't a fight to assemble. So I feel like I have not good sayings for him. But other than that, I do think he is actually a pretty good piece. And like I will say, with like these types of capes, that you can kind of pull them out to really add to the dynamicness of the poses, which I do love. All right, staying on the Stone Ocean trend, we do have Costello. I do need to get the last girl. I have Jolene. I'm blanking on the last girl's name, but I do need to get her eventually to have the trio back together. But I adore her Nendoroid. In this one, you do have, of course, a little stand fight, the baseball glove, which is pretty fun, significant little part of the story. Her holding her little, I think they're like little stickers, if that's what I call her. She like sticks them on things, and that's kind of how her stand works. But that's kind of it. She also actually does have this one where she is holding the $20. I chose to pose her like this, with putting just a stand in the background. And I have her holding the little stand stickers that she needs. I ended up using some little like kind of tacky stuff that I have that I like hang up my pictures with to keep them in her hand, because otherwise they just sit there, which I think is kind of annoying. Kind of wish they would have like the little circular hand piece that you can like push in to actually keep them there, but it was not a huge deal. I love her overall. I love her facial expressions, and she's really fun. Again, of course, on the back you can kind of see the actual jail little logo, I guess. But I think they did a fantastic job even with their hair detailing, and her face looks fantastic. Very happy with how this one turned out, and I just need to get the rest of them. And then up next we have Diavolo, yes, from the Golden Wind, which is part 5, if I recall right. And I will say, I love this one. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I paid for this. It showed up at my door one day, and I don't feel like I ever saw a charge come out, but I could be wrong. I mean, I can't imagine they just sent it for funsies, because I've had it on pre-order, but I genuinely don't remember seeing a charge come out, but I feel like they would have had to, but that was kind of a weird one. Because like I didn't get no shipping, nothing notification on anything about this one. But either way, of course you have the Valio with the stand pose, him in his more, I guess, normal form. And here obviously you can see that I have his face just in like his hair in here. I do kind of wish I would have got 2, because then I could display them both, like both sides of him. Here you get him with that like little face piece talking, and then with the golden arrow, and then him up there. So I did get the bonus, but the bonus is really, really subtle. Like the faceplate almost looks similar, just like more of like an aggressive eyebrow in one of the faceplates opposed to the pre-order bonus one. So I will post a side-by-side and what I have from B-roll in it, which I thought that was, again, just kind of interesting. I chose him to style him like this because the other bonus that came with it was the frog phone. And I loved that scene so much. I thought that was just so ridiculous. So I did pose that with the frog phone, and then of course with the little talking face part. Is that a stand? I honestly can't remember. And then my little almost pineapple looking hair, and I love that. So love the crop top vibes that we got going here, and it's just the frog phone's really what sold me on really deciding to pick this up. So I'm happy with that alone. All right, up next we have one of my favorite characters that is not Joestar, and that is Rohan, which we all want to believe it is a self-insert of the mangaka. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I always hear people talking about that. But I love Rohan. He is one of my favorite characters. So here, I think his stand ability is super cool too. But here you can kind of just have him standing there with his little bag. He's just like, he's the epitome of style. He's slaying with his little crop top. I love it so much. Him just, I think, pointing. And then we have, of course, with Finn, him just kind of doing this like menacing pose, and then him with his stand, and then they had a little kind of like comic rewrite, and then his pin. And I think that's kind of about it for him. That is how I chose to display him. I think this is probably the coolest and more dynamic poses. I think he came with the pre-order bonus. I can't recall. If he did, I'll post that on screen. I want to say he did come with a pre-order bonus, but I don't remember what it was. Okay, yes, I did. I went back and double checked. I do have his pre-order bonus, and it is him holding a camera. But to me, this is the ideal pose for him. And I just love like the subtlety of like the stand there. It just looks so good. Rohan with his paper fade. I adore him. He is just genuinely one of my favorite characters, and he's just always slaying in the style department, and I just love him. And this is perfect. Like even the details down to like the little like manga panel he's like drawing like for the actual like scene to play out. It just looks so sick. So super happy with this one. I was wanting to get him for a while, and then I think they did a re-release because they were doing a lot of JoJo re-releases. So I did have to pick him up. Right, and then lastly for the Nendoroids, we have one of my favorite duos, and that is Joesph and Caesar. And Joesph is my favorite Joestar personally, at least so far. He has been my favorite, and I like wanted his Nendoroid for so long, and when they did the re-release, I did have to do the pre-order because they also have some sick pre-order bonuses. But for Joesph, you have him in a little screaming pose, his little like finger pointing, just sassy. He's such a himbo. I love him. He's so stupid and funny, but he's like smart stupid. And fun little just kind of classic pose. Him yelling. This was a pretty significant moment in the battle tendency. And then him with the little like clanker balls, whatever you would call them. And then again, the same kind of pose to scream, or you can kind of pose him like this as well. Then for Caesar, you get him kind of covering his mouth, the little bubbles, some more bubbles, because this was before stands existed in the Joestar world. I believe they didn't start until, was it part 3 if I recall right? So they were doing off of oh my god, what is that called? I'll put what is that? I feel like it starts with an M. Harmon. I'll put what I'm talking about on the screen. But that was all before stand, so they had this kind of like special like breathing techniques and stuff that they had to do. But I adore this character so much as I love also Joesph. So one of my favorite it is my favorite part personally, so very excited to have these two. Right, starting with Caesar, I have him kind of in a more, I guess, simple, like he was always such a smug little character, so I love the smug face. And his pre-order bonus is this, which actually has that ring around it that you can like, I forget what it does. Oh my god, I need to go back and rewatch it. But there's a significance to it, so if you watched it you'll know. But I just thought that was such a sick pre-order bonus to add. So he looks fantastic too. The colors, beautiful. The hair detailing, beautiful. And his faceplate, beautiful. And now bringing in my favorite himbo with his pre-order bonuses, we have the special mask that kind of taught him how to do the special breathing, like when he was doing his training. And then the special base, which is resemblance of the special like necklace. I believe that this is very significant in the series, or in the, at least in part 2. I can't remember if it's significant for the rest of the series. But yeah, him in his crop top, and I love his hair. They did such a good job on the hair, even the face. Like I just feel like they really nailed his just like overconfident himbo-ness, and I adore it so much. But yeah, no, he's fantastic. Which is interesting about these Nendoroids, is this little piece of hair that you would have to really look at it to know it pops off, and that's how you will assemble like putting Caesar's hairband on if you are wanting to pose him like that. So fair warning on that. It was like a little scary to pull off, but there's just that tiny little detail that you'd have to look at. But otherwise, I feel like they just really nailed him here. And I'm so excited. He's my favorite. All right, up next we have a 1/8 scale. It is the Figure Museum Jonathan and Dio, and it is by Sentinel. Oh my god, I was so hyped when these figures were announced because it's so cool. I almost wasn't gonna get it until I saw that these like kind of like little circular bases will line up, and it almost like tells a story of each part with each Joestar. I'm assuming they're gonna do one for each part, because here this one just is obviously Phantom Blood, and I think it has a 1. Yeah, it has just the 1 logo on here, and then the other one I have has, you know, 2 continuing on. So I'm assuming they're gonna do one for each part, and these just like have some of the most significant story parts. I'm so excited. So they also have pre-order bonuses, which I did not know, or at least bonuses. I did not know that at first, because I got this one from Ami Ami, but if you want the bonus, you'd want to order it from Nen Games or something like that, or it's directly just from the Sentinel site. But I didn't know that at first, but I'm okay with this one not having a pre-order bonus, but the other one I had to. When we'll go into detail when we get to that one. But with this one, let's go ahead and unbox Jonathan and Dio. Okay, just in the blister pack, it is pretty simple. It just has one little cog piece and another, and then just stick them together. Alright, so I have him out of the box. I don't have Dio in his arms because I want to show you Dio's face. And so you can also get a pretty good look at Jonathan's face. This is insane, even down to like there's like little hand like wound details and just like getting all the stabbing of the like the things in the back of him. Oh my goodness, it's such a good size too. Oh my god, I feel like this turned out so good. And then we have Dio just decapitated, just looking very upset about everything. His face is a little goofy, but I mean, most of it's hidden anyways. But that's crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright, now we have him cradling Dio's head. Like, that's so sick. Man, the shading on the clothes even looks so good. The hair looks good. The face is... I feel like it's so hard for them to nail JoJo's Bizarre Adventure faces, like almost any of the characters. Like most of the time the figures look horrendous, and that's why I kind of haven't really picked up any. But these, so good. And it's interesting, so you'll have him, and then he just sits, like you'll just kind of line these up and he just sits on them. So very simple, honestly doesn't take up too much space. You probably wouldn't even need those if you don't want to, because I think, you know, he sits fine on his own too. So for the sake of space, if you're not wanting that, he wouldn't have to sit on those, but I do think you need them to pair up all the rest of them and have the whole story told. But no, he turned out fantastic. All of the details to him look so good. And I don't think he was terribly expensive. It was around 100. Man, how much was it? It was like probably like mid 120s, which I don't think is terrible for what they are. So I'm not too mad about it. I've paid more money for worse figures. So I think these turn out amazing and I'm so excited. I will post a picture also of what the special face, because it's like an extra face plate of Jonathan, if you are wanting that. But Jonathan's the ultimate like Giga Chad. I love him so much too. While part 1 is very boring, obviously it has a lot of significant and important details that you do need to know before you get into any of the other parts. But I do like Jonathan. Not my favorite. Again, it's very kind of more of a boring series or a boring part, but he's such a Chad and I love him. All right. Up next, we are going to unbox my himbo. Oh, I'm so excited. I was able to snag the bonus, which I was surprised because I actually had this pre-ordered on AmiAmi. I didn't really realize they did bonuses. And so when I went to look at his page and I saw it, I was like, that's a sick bonus. Like, it's kind of like a need, in my opinion. Like, it's fantastic and we'll, you know, can't wait to show you. But it's fantastic. And so on Nen Game, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna put my email in, and if they get it in stock, I'll buy it and then cancel the one on AmiAmi. And after it released, they did have him in stock. I did have to pay like a little more. I think he was like 180. But they had him in stock with the bonus, so I took that as my sign and I did go ahead and order it and cancel mine on AmiAmi. I felt kind of bad doing that, but the bonus. So let's go ahead and free him. Also, I will say I love how small these boxes are. Like, I'm so used to the oversized ones. Like, they make sure everything fits just enough. So here he is in his blister pack. He looks huge. And then the pre-order bonus. Release the bonus or whatever. Right, starting off again, just a simple like cog base that will link up with the other ones. He is huge in my opinion for a 1/8, but like I I'm imagining the Joestars are pretty huge. So it's just massive. Ooh, I mean, come on, look how huge he is. His face looks fantastic. They finally did him right. They finally did him right. Look at that. I feel like it's not showing up as well on camera. He looks so good. Oh, the pose is perfect. The sculpt, the details, the crop top, the scarves, Caesar's headband. It looks so good. It looks so good. Super simple assembly. He's huge. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love him. Oh my god, even just like that details to the jeans. Wow. No, he looks fantastic. Obsessed. Now, getting to the bonus. Okay, here he is, bonus faceplate, him with the like a sledgehammer. And then just kind of like throwing up a little side. Oh, I love this. This is definitely how I'm gonna be posing. This is such a sick, like, added feature that they did. Oh, wow. I don't know if I've ever owned any Sentinel figures. I can't recall. So if this is my first experience with them, I am heavily impressed. Oh my god, you turned out fantastic. And just, look at that. This is a sculpture. Oh, wow. You just, man, even just the details to the actual sledgehammer itself. And I love this smug, like his smug smile. He turned out fantastic. I am so excited about him. He has everything I was hoping for. They did a fantastic job. He is definitely worth picking up even without the bonus. So if you are especially a Joesph fan, he's worth it. He is 100% worth it. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know down below who is your favorite Joestar. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.